Welcome guys, thank you for watching this video, but before we proceed, do not forget to subscribe, turn on the notification bell, like this video, share it to all of your friends, and also check out the description for further information guys. And now, let's get into the video.
Alright guys, so welcome to today's video, and today we will work on something completely new. So you guys have been probably expecting a One Piece video at this point, but some of you have been complaining about the topics of the video, so I have been creating a lot of One Piece and anime tower defense game videos lately. So for the past, well, let's say 2 months, 3 months now, and well, you've got pretty bored of it, and therefore I thought about changing the topics for the video, and today we will work on the JoJo Vampire Mask. So a JoJo tutorial on my channel after several months now. So the last JoJo tutorial was probably about the Hamon, okay? And now we have the counterpart to that, which is the vampire, you know? So we are going to build the vampire mask or model the vampire mask via Blender. And then we are going to make vampire skills today, if the time, is enough, of course, but we can surely do that. And then we'll finish that vampire topic at this point. So we're just going to create the vampire mask and some attacks with it, so 3 attacks in total. And then I'm gonna end the tutorial at that point. All right. I've also made a poll on my community tab, so check out my channel's community tab or discussion tab. Well, it must be community tab probably. So in order to participate in that poll, so what the poll is about, so the poll is about a possible series on my channel. So you can choose in between a anime Battle Arena game series, a Naruto game series, a Sword Art Online game series, a Death Run game series, and a Black Clover game series. So the series or the idea with the most votes will most likely be realized on my channel. So choose wisely, guys, and yeah, that's it. So I would be pretty happy if you could leave your voice, let's say, or vote for something, you know, for any of those game series, guys. So I want to put the focus more on newer videos with different topics rather than working on the One Piece game, the tower defense game, etc. Okay, so that was a pretty long intro. Now let's move on with our actual tutorial. So what do we need to do in the first step? Let's go to plugins, let's go to build rig, and let's import this block rig right here, and then just right click on it on this explorers tab. Well, you're not able to see it, but right click on that one and then select export selection. All right, now save it to somewhere, but remember the saving spot, of course. So let me quickly do that. Yeah, so you're not able to see that as well, because OBS is only recording the studio tab. And yeah, there we go. Now, since we have saved this dummy right here, so what is this dummy going to do in the first place? So this dummy is going to be our, let's say, our, base to model the vampire mask on. So we will use the head to build the vampire mask on it, you know? Okay, that's it with that. Now, let's open up Blender. So if you don't know what Blender is, what you should probably know about it. So Blender is used by ROBLOX developers. Well, not only Blender, but other programs as well. So these programs usually allow developers to model stuff, okay? So Blender can be used for many other things as well, but I personally mainly use it for modeling. And modeling in this case just means building some assets, yeah, so like masks, swords, hair, whatsoever. So all of these things can be built or modeled in Blender, and that's what happens in our video. So in our video, or in this video, we are going to build a mask, guys. So the vampire mask, to be exact. Now, there is a link to Blender in the description, and do not misunderstand me. This is not going to be a Blender tutorial. I'm not going to go into, detail or anything. I'm just going to build the mask, and I'll maybe explain a few things, but I will mainly have a display enabled, which represents my key inputs, etc. So you guys can easily follow my inputs, and that is what I'm going to do for you. So if you want to learn more about Blender, then I do not recommend you to continue with this video, because I'm not going to explain anything, but rather consider watching a video which explains you the basics of Blender. Alright. So, there we go. This is how Blender looks like. And yeah, so let me delete these things. And as you can see, screencast keys. So you can now see my inputs right here. Yep. Alright. So, I'm using Blender 2.8. You guys will be probably using a much more newer or recent version. And the reason for that is that I reverted my version back to 2.8 because I got pretty much familiar with 2.8, and all of these newer versions have different interfaces, etc. And it's just pretty complicated and annoying for me to always get used to another interface, and 2.8 is pretty fun about its interface, and therefore I have to stick with that version, guys. Alright, so how do we move on now? Let's go to File, Import, OBJ. In order to import the dummy, we have just exported from Studio. So select the dummy, of course. Random vampire. There we go. So that's our dummy. You can also switch to rendered if you want to, so you can see the face clearly. And yeah. So I'm gonna get a reference image of the vampire mask, which we are going to create. I'm gonna put it on my second monitor, on my second screen. And yeah, so let's get started with building this whole thing. Alright. So as I've said, this is not going to be a Blender tutorial or anything, so if you want to see my controls, just take a look at the display in the bottom left corner right here. So as you can see, my middle mouse, my shift button, etc. So all of these things which you can just easily follow. Okay, so this is this is some kind of shape for the mask, but we are of course going to make this more detailed. Alright. So let's get started with the nose. Going to insert this cube right here to form the nose out of it at the end. Let me switch this to solid, because the rendered mode was pretty dark and you could barely see anything. Okay, so that's about the nose. Of course, I'm not a modeler, so well, I'm not a modeler. I mainly do not model, and therefore excuse if the model is not that good, but yeah, try to give my best in regards of modeling. So excuse that, guys. Okay, now the next thing we are going to create are the lips. Or just the mouth, yeah, so there are also the teeth included. And we are also going to work on that. So you guys have probably seen it, this mirror modifier right here just mirrors all of the changes on this side to the other side. So I actually save a little bit more time by doing so, as you probably could think of, or could think about. Come on. Alright, so this is the mouth, this is the nose. And now the next few things. So there's something on the forehead, something which looks like a snake or scorpion. That is going to be the next thing, which I am going to work on. And then I'll work on the eyes. And the eyes, well, they are not too difficult, so they are well, not easy, but they're not difficult, as I've said. So they are actually okay. They are good to do, let's say. Alright, now the last thing which is missing are the eyes. Or the last things, yeah, which are missing are the eyes. Okay, let's shape them first of all. So I'm going to make use of a method which allows us to cut out a certain shape. So we are able to cut out the eye shape from the mask, which causes, yeah, which is responsible for the creation of those eye holes, you know? And that's what we want to do in the end. Alright. Now let me mirror this thing. Okay. There we go. Okay, so that's almost it. So we have got this little shape right here, but it is not perfect. Let's try to tune this up a little. Alright, so this should be fun. Now hit apply. And now you've gotten these two objects. Now you can basically just do, or just go to, just select the mask. Then go to modifier. And then hit, where is it? Bevel? No, not bevel. No. Boolean, yeah, it was Boolean. Now, under objects, select those eyes. And now hit apply. And now you can just move these eyes out and wait. What has happened? Yeah, okay. That's fine. Okay, there we go. Now we have successfully created the eyes. Hit apply on all of these other mirrors. And select all of them, and then select the mask, and then hit Control J in order to connect all, in order to connect them together. And as you can see, there are some things on the outside. So in order to fix that, you can just do this. I'll select these two, and now just go all the way down. There we go, and that's our mask. Now shade this thing smooth, and then add the edge split modifier to it. And yeah, there we go. So this is our mask. It is not perfect, but it at least is a mask, you know? And it at least somehow looks like, well, somehow looks like the JoJo mask. Let's hope so, at least. Well, we can still play around with the shape. Okay, never mind. Let's delete this thing. And let's export the mask. So in order to do that, go to File, Export, and then OBJ. And then export everything, you know? So select your folder and memorize where you have selected, where you have saved this thing to. Mask, export OBJ. There we go. Now back in Studio, import that mask. So select or insert a mesh port by performing a right click on the workspace, then insert object and mesh port, and now select your mask right here. Mask, there we go. And that's our mask right here. Okay. Now the color is probably fun. Yeah, let me add this slate material. Or maybe this material, well, I don't know. What about cobblestone? Where is it? Cobblestone, yeah, cobblestone. Cobblestone looks fun. Let's just, yeah, let's keep that. This should do, okay. Okay, so name this thing handle. And let's create a tool. And let's put this mask inside. And now let's test this out first of all. Just to see how this looks like. Okay, base plate. And there we go. So that's my character. And we are holding the mask in our hand, but not on the correct side. So we gotta switch this grip to 1. All right, there we go. Okay, so what do we want to do? All right, so I had to go AFK, sorry for that, but where did we left off? Yeah, I don't know. So I'm going to insert a local script inside, so we are going to make the mask usable, means when the player clicks the left mouse button, then the mask will be worn, let's say, and then the player will receive his vampire moves. Alright, but before we do that, we need to create a lot of animations right here. So we will do that first of all. Okay. So the first animation is going to be the mask equip animation. Okay, so this is our mask equip animation, let's say. And you guys cannot see it, but go to these 3 dots and then go to set animation priority and then set it to action, so that's pretty important. And I'm gonna save this thing to this dummy and I'm going to upload the mask and the vampire attacks and all of the animations. So I'm gonna put them inside of a model and I'm going to upload that model to Roblox, and I'm going to leave a link to the model in the description, guys, so you can just take the model and set it up and then enjoy the work I've done. Okay, mask equip. So that's our first animation. Now let's create a new animation and let's call this one So how can we call that? Yeah, so what is even... Oh, so what's the name of that? I I don't even know the actual name. So the attack where Dio has put out or has fired out that laser beams out of his eyes. So I'm just going to call this one laser, and I'm gonna animate this thing. Okay, let's go. Okay, so the same thing with that animation. Click on these three dots, set the animation priority to action, and then, yeah, export this thing. So I'm going to save it at this point, and then I'm going to export it later. Okay, so there we go. Alright, so the next attack is going to be that freeze attack. And, well, I thought about that our player just walks up to the enemy and then holds his hand out and then just starts freezing the other player or the enemy. And this animation is also the animation for our next attack, so I'm going to use this animation for 2 attacks now. And the third attack is going to be that attack where the vampires can suck out the blood of their enemies by just holding their neck, their body parts, whatsoever. Okay, I'm gonna set the animation priority to action again. I'm gonna loop this animation for this time at least. Okay, well, not export, but save it first of all. Save. Freeze / bloodsuck. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to load. Wait. So I'm going to load the mask equip animation, and I'm going to export this one because we will need it now. Submit. So if you want to set up this model, then you need to export these animations onto your account, because you're not able to use the animation IDs which are linked to my account, you know, so you gotta export them onto your account, and you need to update the animation IDs inside of the script. Alright, so this is my mask equip animation ID, and right here inside of this tool, so let me call this thing vampire mask, and this one is going to fire server a remote event, and by fire serving that remote event, the animation is going to be played, and the player is going to receive the attacks. Alright. So now to the scripting. So I have created this remote event right here, and we're going to set up a variable which is going to refer to that one. So remote equals script remote. So script remote and script parent. So we need to refer to the tool in order to recognize if the tool has been activated, means the left mouse button click has been performed on the tool. So script parent in order to refer to the tool, as I've said, script parent, and then activated, which means that the left mouse button has been clicked. So if that's the case, then connect function. So if the left mouse button has been clicked, then we want the mask to be equipped, you know? But since filtering enabled is on, we need to fire server this remote event in order to cause a reaction in the script, and that reaction is going to be the mask equipping. And this mask equipping is going to be visible to all of the other players because it is coded inside of a script, you know, and when things are inside of a regular script, then they are like server scripts and they are visible to everyone else. So the code or the consequences of the code are visible to everyone else. So if you just try to script the attacks in a local script or anything like that, then you would be able to see it, but no other player would be able to see it. And that is what remote events and these regular scripts and fire server, fire client, etc. So all of these topics linked to filtering enabled. So this is what it is about. So script parent activated. So if that happens, then we want to fire server the remote event. And now let's create a script instead of the remote event. Script. Let's call this thing React. And this one is going to refer to the remote event as well. So local remote script parent. So script is our script and parent is the parent of that script, which is the remote event. Okay. So once the remote event has been fire servered, we can call this on server event, which just recognizes these changes, these fire servers. And inside of these brackets, we can add the following parameters. So we can add the player, which has fire servered that remote event, and then we can add some other parameters like value 1, value 2, etc. But they are not needed currently because our only fire server right here does not have any parameters inside. Therefore, we will only use that player right here. Okay, now the next thing which we want to do is that we want to refer to the player's character. So we can do it by several ways, but let's just refer to the character through the workspace. So I'm gonna create a variable right here called character, and this one is going to refer to workspace. Wait for child, player name, and that's basically the character. So the character of a player is stored inside of the workspace and has the same name as the player. And we are just basically looking for an instance inside of the workspace which has the same name as the player, and that instance has to be the player's character in most of the cases. So if you're not using any complicated character system, which most of the Roblox games do not use, then this script will not work. But as I've said, barely any games use that kind of character systems, and therefore this will work on your games probably. And if you're using one of these complicated character systems, then you probably would not watch this video anyway. So this should work on your system, guys. Alright, so we have referred to the character. Now we want to create a new animation. So instance.new. The first parameter is going to be the class name of the animation, which of our instance, which is going to be an animation. The second parameter is the place where the instance is being stored into, which is our character in this case. So you can also store it inside of the workspace, but let's just keep it inside of the character. And we are going to call this animation mask equip. Come on, mask equip. And let's set the animation ID. So animation, come on, animation ID. And the first part is this RBX set ID, and now these two slashes, and then the ID itself. Okay, now let's load the animation. So in order to load it, we have to refer to the character's humanoid, and then to something called animator. So that's new. And then load animation. So we are basically referring to this animator and then loading the animation. And inside of these brackets, we have to enter the instance, which has to be an animation. So we need to refer to the animation instance, which is supposed to be loaded. And now we can just basically say loader play, and now the animation is being played. But let's also prevent the player from walking while this animation is being played. So walk speed equals 0 and jump power equals 0 means the player is also not able to jump. So we are referring to the humanoid, which stores the information regarding the walk speed and the jump power, and by setting these to 0, we make the player unable to make use of their walk speed because their walk speed is at 0, so they cannot walk. And we make the player unable to make use of their jump power, so they're not able to jump because their jump power is at 0, guys. Okay, now we can copy these lines, put them down here, and we can just revert them after several amounts of seconds. So let's say after 1.5 seconds, everything turns back to normal. Okay, React. Now local script, vampire attacks. I'm gonna call this vampire attacks, and I'm gonna import this remote inside. And yeah, so this is pretty much going to be the same. So let's disable this thing. And while our animation is being played, so while this happens, we want this vampire attacks local script to be cloned inside of our starter pack, because this script carries the actual code for the attack. So this script is, well, it is a little bit misleading. So this script actually carries the code for the attacks. This one is just responsible for tracking the player inputs and recognizing when the player has pressed a certain key, which is responsible for the activation of a certain attack. So that is what local scripts basically do in terms of attacks. And this React script right here, we can also call it attacks, and this one is going to code all of the attacks. So I'm sorry, I've said that I will probably finish everything in this video, but I I need to split this up in 2 parts, otherwise the video will probably exceed 2 hours. So I'm gonna make 2 parts out of this, and then that should be fine. So after 2 parts, this vampire thing should be done. But let's just quickly finish this one. So we want to clone this vampire attack script. So I'm creating a new variable which is going to refer to that script. So vamp s stands for vampire script. And this one is located inside of our React script, therefore script vampire attacks clone. And this one is going to be put into script parent. So basically inside of the starter pack, so we can say script parent. Wait, script parent. Okay, 2 more parent. And then after that, we should make sure that the script is enabled. So we set disable to false because the script is currently disabled. And after that, we can get rid of our vampire mask right here. But wait. Let me stop the loader up here. So we are basically stopping the animation. Stop. I'm gonna destroy the animation. And animation destroy. And at the end, we are going to destroy the tool. So script parent, so 3 times, I think. Parent, destroy. Okay, let's play and see how this works out. Now let's keep an eye on our backpack right here. Okay, so the first error. Wait, remote is not a valid member of local script. Oh, come on. So basically just need to add this waitful child right here, and we probably, well, never mind, we do not need to do the same for our script. And let's keep an eye on our backpack. So let's use this mask, and it has done the equipping animation, but there is no mask inside of, there are no attacks inside of our, inside of our backpack. So what is the reason for that? Probably because of this one. Wait, script parent. It should work out. Wait, then let's instead do player backpack. Then let's do that instead. And this one should work out. Yeah, this one should probably work out. Let's see. Yeah. Vampire mask. Let's see if I'm able to walk while... Yeah, I'm not. There we go. And as you can see, the vampire attacks have been cloned inside of our backpack. Okay, so let me empty this right here. So we're going to keep this one. Keep everything. And yeah. So that's it with the video, guys. I hope you have enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, share this video to all of your friends. Also give me feedback in the comment section for other videos I can possibly create on. So I'm trying to do a bit more of other content instead of just only One Piece and anime tower defense games and mini tutorials. Which does not mean that I'm ending that videos. They'll probably come as well, but there have been many of them in the past time, you know. So we have 23 episodes of the Tower Defense series and 14 episodes of our One Piece game series, and that's pretty much, guys. That's pretty much. So some of my viewers, which are used to other videos, have probably been annoyed about all of these videos, you know. So it's time to do something else now. Okay. So that's the first part. I'm going to upload the model on the second part when everything's done. So for now, you can just follow my steps or just try to understand the code I have written down, etc. And yeah, so that's it. Also, do not forget to participate on in the poll on my community tab, on my channel's community tab. So it is about a new series which I can possibly start. So just pick one you would like to see on my channel. I'm honest with you guys, I would be really happy to do or to create videos on a anime battleground arena, because I think that this series is a solution which could possibly make everyone happy, because a battleground arena with many anime characters contains many anime characters, and therefore elements of many animes. And since some of you want to see, I don't know, Sword Art Online content, Black Clover content, Naruto content, Dragon Ball content, One Piece content, so since that's a fact, I can just realize these ideas in a battleground game, So just create characters from all of these certain animes and just overall try to make as much as possible of you happy. Okay, take care, see you in the next video, guys.